The difference between successful men and successful women. While success is celebrated, for men, it's a burden. For women, is it an escape?
Yeah, a lot of women, it seems like they're taught to be successful to avoid relying on somebody else for themselves and for their livelihood and their lifestyle and their future and stuff like that. And for men, it's like kind of like a given. You have to kind of pursue that.
So I want to point out something. You said taught, and this is on both sides.
Yeah.
Not just for the women, but also for the men. The women are taught to, they gotta, take, and they gotta be the ones being catered to and all that other stuff. And then men,
Well, to an extent, I think that's kind of changed lately.
Okay.
I think maybe since maybe like the 80s onward, like more corporate women figures we've seen.
Yeah. See, I was about to get to that. So back then, I should have prefaced it with that. Back then, women were taught to, being catered to or whatever, just being taken care of, and men going in and provide. But within the last, what do you say, 20 years, 30 years?
25.
25 years, the paradigm has almost shifted. It has come to a point where we are almost hammering in women's faces that they have to be independent. How do you feel about the have to? Do you agree with what I'm saying? Do you think am I making this up, or like what do you see in your perspective?
I agree with it.
Yeah.
I agree with that. I agree with you that is the narrative and now that is the paradigm. But I also agree that maybe women should be encouraged to be independent because I think a lot of times when you leave yourself beholden to somebody else, you put yourself at a lot of risk. I think women should take care of themselves first because a lot of times you'll get with somebody who provides a lot for you, like financially or, nice house, you do everything else, but you might end up being trapped in an abusive situation because you can't get away. You had no skills of your own. You had no finances of your own.
Yeah.
And it's difficult to be in that situation. But I do think, as time has gone on, I do think there's sort of been a shift back to that because of how hard it is to make it on your own now. And people are kind of shifting back to traditional stuff.
A collaborative effort?
Not even that. Much like on TikTok, right, there's this thing called like the trad wives thing. It's like these women are like it's the 1950s or something. Like they want to be just wives at home, cooking and cleaning and walk around barefoot or whatever. I don't know. But that's what they want to do. Like, so.
Is there a problem with that?
Nah, to each his own.
Yeah.
I just think the problem to me, it comes with the narratives behind it and the reasoning why you want to do it, to me. And a lot of that stuff, what's the word? Perpetuates.
Yeah, okay, I thought that's what you were saying.
Perpetuates stereotypes about men and women that I don't like too much.
Okay.
So it depends on where it's coming from. If this is what you want to do, genuinely, you want to be a caretaker, a homemaker, then to each his own. But some of these people are pushing a narrative that's like really negative.
So you're saying they're doing it they're not being genuine about it.
A lot of them are grifters, I ain't gonna lie to you. A lot of them are grifters, bro. Yeah. Be a trad wife, because if you're not, you're stupid. Like, it's almost the same as it's like the opposite of the red pill, where it's like, if you don't make $1 million a week, you're cooked. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's similar.
And if you don't have a guy to taking care of you, you're nothing. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Pretty much, yeah. Like there are women content creators today who, I'm gonna teach you how to manifest a man who'll pay all your bills, stuff like that.
You've seen those?
I've seen it, yes.
I feel as though that is just as bad as the whole red
They're the
pill
same.
thing. It's
thing.
one of the same.
Just a different context or different coding, a different coat of paint. It's the same thing, though, I think.
They're targeting just a different group of people in the sense of genders. It's the same type of people, but it's
the same lonely, desperate people, but it's a different gender. Yeah, it's just crazy, man.
So me personally, we're gonna get into the video in a second, but I don't see a problem with going back to the traditional, role plays or anything. But as long as it's coming from a genuine place on both sides, you know what I'm saying? I don't think. Whenever it comes to extremes with the whole like red pill and then the trad wives, trad women, whatever it's called. What is it called? Trad wives, whatever. There's the extremes that's when it starts to get crazy. But when you're living in a you're cohabitating with somebody on an even plane with an equilibrium, then I feel like that's a good way to find a balance between the two. You know what I'm saying? Because it's hard out here. You know what I'm saying?
Most definitely.
It's hard out here. When you have two people coming together to bring in either income or just make life better, easier. You know what I'm saying? I think it helps both parties.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, so Priscilla Facey explains the contrast between expectations for successful men and women. Men are taught to share the wealth, women to use it as freedom.
All right, I'll play the video for y'all.
All right, cool.
Man with money is expected to share. But a woman with money is told she doesn't need a man. Same income, totally different rules. Let me explain before you get mad. In our culture, men are taught from day one that if they're not earning, they're failing. If they can't provide, they're not real men. If they don't pick up the check, they're broke or stingy. A man's value is often reduced to his financial output. Now flip the script. When women become successful, we don't expect them to carry anybody. In fact, we celebrate it as a form of freedom. Yes, queen, you're independent. She doesn't need a man.
It's a fake podcast, although she's talking to nobody.
You peeped that?
Is that not weird to y'all? That's a little weird to me, ain't it?
Hey, you gotta do what you gotta do.
I guess for the aesthetics purposes, it looks like she knows what you're talking about.
Yeah.
He's expected to provide, but she's expected to escape. Because if we really want partnership, then we need to stop placing all the financial burden on one side while celebrating freedom on the other.
You want to tackle that first?
The fake podcast threw me off a little bit. I ain't gonna lie. Shout out to her, man. Get your bag, I guess. This is a real podcast. He's not AI right here. Yeah, man. She's not wrong, but I think she's generalizing a little bit. And also she's like speaking to like what's wrong with women celebrating each other being successful? You know, she speaks of it as like it's a problem, like the escape. It is an escape because some women are naturally an oppressed part of society. Let's be honest. They've been oppressed for a long time. A lot of times, women back in the day had to suppress their own goals and dreams because, you're not a good wife if you're trying to do your own thing. You know what I'm saying? And that's an unfair thing. So I think it's just a build up over time of like being told one way.
I think the issue is not women going and chasing their dreams.
Yeah.
It's someone telling them you have to go and chase whatever dreams, and they're not even dreams that they had in the first place. They actually wanted. These are things that someone else forced onto them. Hey, go out there and become super successful because you don't need a man, because you're super independent. You can do this on your own, which is true. You can do that on your own. But is that what you actually wanted to do when you were a little girl? Did you say you wanted to be a CEO of a Fortune 500 company? Outside of everyone else telling you what you wanted to do, is this what you wanted to do?
Shout out to women CEOs, man. Did you see that the shooting in Manhattan the other day?
No, what happened?
CEO of Blackstone got killed, a lady.
For real?
Yeah.
Oh, shoot.
It's not a good company. Probably not a good person, but
yeah.
Rest in peace to everybody else that was caught in that anyway, man. But
who was the company?
Blackstone.
Blackstone? It sounds like BlackRock.
They do similar things to BlackRock.
Okay.
Yeah. The media trying to spin it like it's a random thing, and it wasn't.
It's not random.
But anyway, back to the topic at hand.
Yeah.
Sorry to get y'all on. We'll talk about it another day. Yeah, I get what you're saying. Is it your dream, or we talked about this before? Is it your dream or somebody else's dream for you?
Yeah.
But I do think a lot of that comes from women who have their own daughters, and they have this. They struggle internally with did I sacrifice my goals for a family and maybe I could have done my own thing. So now my daughter's here. I'm gonna teach her how to be her own woman because she's gonna be beholden to a woman.
Now is that the grass is greener on the other side effect?
Yeah, in a way.
Yeah.
In a way, but I think there's so many horror stories you have with these women where they get married and they sign a prenup and then they get left by their husband and they're left with nothing.
Yeah.
Or one stat that I hate that is so true, but it's a stat that the majority of the time when a man gets sick, like cancer or something like that, in a relationship, woman will stay and take care of you till you die or whatever else. But with men, oftentimes they leave. Almost every, it's a way higher. I can't think of the number. If you can find the number and put it up on the screen for the viewers, I would love that. But it's a way higher odds of a man leaving. If it's cancer, any terminal illness, cancer or Alzheimer's, stuff like that, the men often leave. So there's a lot of reasons for women to want to shield themselves from that.
And I agree.
100% agree with it.
I agree.
That's why I'm not opposed to prenups, because a lot of people think prenuptials are just this devilish thing, you're getting nothing from me.
Yeah.
All that really means is if we do divorce, it'll break up like this. You have the choice to sign it or not. If you don't want to sign it, then you might not want to get married to that person. That is what it is. But it's not a guaranteed you sign this, you're cooked, I'm gonna take everything. It's more if we do break up, you're gonna get this, I'll get this. And that's just that.
Personally, I don't like prenups because I don't think if you're getting into a marriage that should be, hey, this is it. I feel like that gives people kind of an easy out. It's I can just leave if something gets hard. I can leave if something gets rough. Now, I'm not saying that someone's cheating on you, domestic abuse, all that stuff. Those are grounds to leave. You should leave on the first sight of any of that.
Yeah.
But if something is wrong. They wake up.
I
He
don't know.
didn't like the way they woke up that morning.
Women beaters stay with a girl.
You said, do they?
Women beaters be staying with a girl, man.
That's that mental gymnastics
They be
stuff.
staying with a girl, man.
Yeah.
I know half the dudes in jail I know got a girl.
Like 80% of them got girls.
Crazy, man.
At least 80% of them got girls, man.
But yeah, I think the only thing I dislike about prenups is that when you bring it up in the beginning, it is like you're thinking about that right now. Like it's kind of like you're bringing a negative sort of cloud over it automatically. Because like, well, if you divorce me, what half of us do, 50% rate.
Yeah.
We gotta break it up this way because I'm worried about my finances and stuff.
So what's up with this 50% rate?
Or like 50-50?
No. The 50% of marriages end in divorces. Isn't it higher now? I thought it was 60 now.
It might be.
I think it was 60.
Another stat for 85. It might be, man. I don't know why that is. I've never been married. I don't know. But I think people rush into stuff they don't want to do.
I think it's one, a rush. One, they're rushing in. Two, people once they get to a certain age, around like 28 to like 30, they're like really rushing. It's like, oh shoot, I gotta get married. Not because they want to. It's more of a societal thing. Yeah. They look down. People look down upon, especially women if they're not married by a certain age.
Absolutely. So,
you know what I'm saying? So
a lot of people might feel like they settle.
Yeah.
Because they have to pick somebody.
Exactly. Yeah, social pressure is causing these people to settle when that's not their person. You know what I'm saying?
Do you think that also applies here with maybe there's pressure on women to be like, you don't need no man, be independent, like we talked about earlier. And it's like they feel like, a lot of women feel like they have to, even if they don't want to necessarily be a grinder, they have to do it because they don't want to be strapped, linked to a man who doesn't really like them that much or mistreats them or settle for them or something like that.
Women should not, nobody should be fully dependent on somebody, in my opinion.
Yeah.
You should always at least have some way to be able, if you were to break up or to leave for whatever reason, they leave, you leave, you'll be able to sustain yourself at least for, what is it, like they say, like 6 months, at least so you can get back on your feet and do something else. You should never be just solely relying on a person that when they leave, you're assed out.
Yeah.
They should never. But at the same time, if you find someone that you can depend on, you know what I'm saying? You're not settling, you're not falling for social pressures and stuff like that, and you're actually with the person. You went through, you asked them all the right questions. You got to know them on a deeper level to be like, hey, is this somebody that's going to actually stay with me through the hard times? And you're able to depend on that person, then that's fine.
Like another thing, also people kind of underrate sort of like the traditional wife sort of thing. That's work too. That's a lot of work.
Oh, hell yeah.
Being at home
Yeah.
You might have a kid or kids. That's difficult.
Mm-hmm.
You got school, doctor's appointments. You got like birthday parties. Maybe you're planning like the vacations or something like that. A lot of times I've heard like women at home will plan the finances. They'll do the books. Like they'll do like the budget for the month and stuff like that. It's difficult work. It's not easy.
No, not at all.
A lot of people might look at it as a negative tone because like they feel like, oh, I've just reduced myself to this housewife.
But who told them that that's a reduction? That's where I think the problem is.
I think the U.S.
Yeah.
America.
Yeah.
Like, I think the shift from the 50s till now is like, everybody gotta get your own bag. Like, you know what I'm saying?
I think it was after World War I when all the women were starting to come in for the factories because all the men were out at war and stuff like that.
Maybe one. I think that's more so famously associated with World War II. But
was it World War II?
It's more so like the famous, like the picture lady.
Yeah.
World War II.
I think it originated in World War I. They realized, oh shoot, we can make lots of money off of having another group of people working for us. You know what I'm saying?
I think that's why. But I think that sort of shift, because a lot of those women had to come when the men came back, they had to go back to the role they were in before, and they probably resented them before that. And that's a baby boomer generation. So those boomers would then grow up in the 70s and 80s where this corporate woman figure became more prominent. Barbie, stuff like that. Like all that stuff really adds up. So I think that's like a trickle down sort of thing where like men come home like, oh well, you're fired, man, back take your job, back go to the house. And it's like, but I enjoyed doing what I was doing. I enjoyed building myself up. I enjoyed working hard, doing what I want to do for myself. But then that shift back, those same women probably had those kids and was like telling their daughter, like, look, you can do whatever you want to do. I've seen the other side. You can do whatever you want to do. That's why you get like people like Hillary Clinton, somebody I don't like very much, but just thinking of a woman like that, Hillary Clinton or Michelle Obama, people like that, like people that are, they're tied to a man, but they're very much their own success story.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
I want to talk about today and relationships today. I think one of the reasons for the male loneliness epidemic, they call it, is because the bar has been raised. a woman is able to provide for herself now.
You know who raised it?
Who?
IG baddies,
You think so?
bottle girls, Bernice Burgos, people like that.
Shout out Bernice. But what
She's 45. You know that?
no, is she really?
45.
That's insane.
LeBron of them.
Hey,
LeBron of the
throw up
IG.
a picture.
LeBron of the IG models. I'm not gonna say the other word I want to say.
Yeah.
But LeBron of the IG models, quote unquote.
But think about it, yo. The standard has been risen. A woman doesn't have to stay with a man because he's the sole provider anymore.
No.
They're able to go out there and get their own money, and men haven't adjusted to that, or they still want to do the bare minimum and expect for a woman to stay. Before they could get away with that, you know, like he could go have 2, 3, 4 families, cheat on her, come out home 3 o'clock in the morning drinking and all that stuff. Because what's she gonna do? She couldn't get a job.
He could also beat her.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, he can do all that stuff. Now he can't beat her. Now she got her own money. She can go get a job.
I think it's for the best.
And men keep wanting to do the bare minimum. And I think that's where the problem is. Guys don't want to raise their own standards.
Yeah, that's the issue.
Yeah.
Another problem is a lot of y'all wait until you're like 29 to be like, oh, let me start
Lock
being a
in?
good person.
Let
me lock in.
Yeah.
Because some man online with a Miami penthouse and muscles told you to. Your dad been telling you to get up early and work out and do the right thing. But you waited till Andrew Tate said it. Mm-hmm. Or Ashton Hall. He's not quite as bad, but he's a similar type of guy. He's red pill. I ain't gonna lie. He's red pill.
Yeah. I mean, most of those guys on the spaces are. Well, even if they're not, they push that type of content because it makes money.
Exactly.
It holds the viewers. Those type of men, they need that type of person to say those type of things to them so they can continue to make that money.
But back to my original point, I think that the IG baddie epidemic is the same sort of side.
Explain that, bro. Explain that. What are you saying?
Because so many women saw just women that went online just being beautiful would go on to get picked by athletes and actors and rappers and singers and whoever else would just pick them and like change their life. And then they would parlay that into, and that influence into their own business, and now they're entrepreneurs and self-made women. But it's like, that path is like, seems a lot more simple and easy and achievable than like, I'm a woman, let me go to college, let me do what I gotta do, X, Y, and Z to build myself up. Or let me come up with something, or let me build my own hair salon and hair brand or something like that. A lot of them want that jumping pad because the lifestyle been sold to them that if you just look good, somebody will come by and save you. And that's not really how life works.
That's not how it is at all.
A lot of these guys will mess with you or whatever and be prominent, but they'll not leave with anything. They'll mess with you and buy you a bag or something, or maybe even a car. They'll take you on vacation or something like that. Go to Turks Caicos, but they won't actually build you up.
I remember I was at the bar and Shorty was like, "You gonna subscribe to my OnlyFans?"
In real life?
Yes.
Did you look it up?
I didn't need to. I didn't want to.
Was she like that or no?
Like I said, I didn't want to.
Oh, okay, I got you.
Like I said, I didn't want to. But
how much do you think it was?
She was probably, I don't even know, bro.
Why do y'all only make a couple dollars a month on that?
That's what they say.
And you're feeding the internet new pictures of yourself.
And even then, they don't understand how much work actually goes into. Yeah. That's still a business at the end of the day. You have to grind. You can't just throw videos of you know.
You gotta put some effort into it. There's a dime a dozen iPhone tripod women on it. You gotta be different.
That's what I'm saying, bro.
I wouldn't know experience personally. I have an idea.
You gotta market, bro. Show me something different.
Yeah.
Just because you got an OnlyFans don't mean I'm gonna subscribe. You know what I'm saying? You gotta show me something I'm gonna like.
Yeah, getting a man to pay for pornography is extremely difficult. Even though it seems like it's not, because so many of these women are successful in there. There's only a handful, I guess, that are really doing it crazy.
Yeah.
But like that's a big leap. Mm-hmm. Like making somebody pay for something that's free already, you gotta really be different. And a lot of y'all ain't different.
You remember when was it Danielle Bregoli turned 18? That was crazy. She made like $1 million in the first day.
A lot of y'all are sick people.
That was crazy.
A lot of y'all people are sick.
I thought they were trolling.
This is not me shooting bail to men either, by the way.
Yeah.
A lot of y'all, men always online complain about, oh man, women have it so easy. They can just make OnlyFans and get rich. That somebody's paying for that. Mm-hmm. Your homeboy's probably paying for that. Your homeboy's probably paying for that OnlyFans. He's part of the problem. So keep that in mind. So
let's go back to partnerships. Can you truly build a partnership when success feels like a negotiation? I know that's a hard question.
Yes and no.
Yeah.
If people come... Both people come to the table equipped for that, then yes. But if it's like a successful man and a woman who's not as successful, he can easily run the circles around her with the prenups and all that stuff. And it's like, but if they both come to the table with their own like backing behind them, whether it be financial or like education or whatever else, it can be a little better. It can be a little more balanced. But I think if it's not balanced like that, it damages the partnership for sure.
I think the issue is now we have two groups of people wanting to be bosses. And so it's always conflicting. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with being a boss, but you have one person be a boss and one person be a boss builder.
Yeah, you can't have two Dons. You can't have two quarterbacks.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You be a boss builder. You know what I'm saying? Build that person up. You're not taking a lesser role. You're actually putting a lot of work.
So how do you get men to take the lesser role if they have to sometimes?
That's a hard one. Because
that happens a lot today, I think.
What do you mean?
Like there are probably more women that are better off than men right now.
Well, yeah, because there's more women going and getting education, going to college.
So how do you get a man? How do you get most men? Because there are plenty of men who have. How do you get most men to accept the lesser role? To be like, well, I'll be the boss builder. I'll do my own thing, but my wife.
Because when we say boss builder, we don't mean it in a negative context. You're still putting in work on the back end. You know, she's out there, doing, maybe she's a lawyer, maybe she's a doctor. She could just be doing anything, manager at a company and stuff like that. But you're taking care of the stuff at home. You're managing the finances, like you were saying earlier. You're setting these goals and these plans. Hey, you're bringing in this amount of money. We're going to use this here, this year, this here. We're going to save this here and stuff like that. You're not taking a lesser role. You're playing maybe even a bigger role. You know what I'm saying? Because you're setting the discourse for where you guys are going to be going within the next 2, 5, 10, 20 years.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And men have to start thinking about it that way. They're not taking a lesser role. Playing a bigger part into the relationship.
Yeah.
And we got to get both sides to see that, you got to work together. I
think we'll get there. I think as we continue to develop and grow, even though the climate of today is definitely a lot different than it was just 5 years ago. It's definitely a lot more conservative again, a lot more to the right. And the whole idea is to stay-at-home wife, working husband, X, Y, and Z. But I do think that, which is ironic because there's so many like right-wing successful women, it's insane to me that they can still kind of push that narrative when there's like literally the head of the FBI spokesperson is a woman, Pam Bondi's a woman. There's just one person to name. There's so many right-wing talking heads, but yeah, so I think we'll get there one day. I think as we keep growing as a people and we keep seeing like kind of how it is tough out here for people to live day to day, you need a partnership. You don't need one person to save another. You need a partnership.
Partnership, for sure. That's the issue.
I think people like the idea of partnership. I think people lack the teamwork aspect. They want to just be on the team and getting carried to the top.
The light.